What's up, everybody? Oh, we gotta fix the focus on the camera. That's the one thing I forgot. Hang on, give me 2 seconds. I had to hop on real quick after checking, not checking everything, if you will, because people give me a hard time in chat, but that's okay. We fixed the focus, so it's not like autofocus and making me blurry every 2 seconds. So, what's up, everybody? Good to be back, obviously, as always. Looking forward to this one because I felt like I left a little bit off of Zen during our last stream. I feel like when I went over the heroes, I think Zen was the one I felt like, I don't know, I just felt like I didn't give you enough. I told you at the beginning of the stream, I thought that I was a little bit unprepared for Zen. So this is to kind of make up for that. We're going to be playing some Zen gameplay. Of course, while we're doing that, feel free to throw in any questions related to anything. I'd love to answer them. We got to talk about a couple things before we jump into the gameplay. Um, Obviously, this was a very eventful weekend in Fab, to say the least. I'm not going to rehash all that stuff. All I'm going to say is Flesh and Pod put out a great video, kind of doing a great summary and how the community can kind of like, you know, make the best of it, right? Or what we should do, right? So I agree with most things that they said. So I'm going to kind of direct people that way toward um, that subject that we know what I'm talking about. So with that being said, I'm not going to spend much time on it. I do want to say that it really sucks for LSS because I think that the Tokyo was the second most important event of the year. Now I know you're thinking, Nathan, there's two Pro Tours and Worlds. Like I can't understate. I guess I can't overstate how important this world premiere was in Tokyo, breaking into that new market, that very important market for TCGs. And I just wish things would have went a little bit smoother for LSS. But overall, the set looked amazing. It looked like the players were having a blast playing with the cards. Uh, the booklet thing, like, amazing idea. My greatest like concern for the event was like, man, there's gonna be like a judge dedicated to each player because they're gonna be asking, what does this card do? What does this card do? But they printed those little books out, and like that was an amazing, I mean, amazing idea. Phenomenal. Hats off to whoever came up with that. Absolutely amazing idea. That way, every player just could flip through it, find the card that they wanted to read or whatever. You don't waste any judge time or anything like that. So, absolute phenomenal idea, making that a much smoother kind of transition or something that might be difficult for people because English speakers, we're kind of spoiled, right? We're not used to having to adjust to other people's languages, where the other way around, we're kind of used to people adjusting to ours. So they smoothed that out really well. Fantastic idea from LSS, whoever came up with that. The cards look amazing. Congrats to the winner for taking down the calling. Also, Michael for coming in second. Amazing performance. Yeah. So the set looks awesome. We went over a little bit of it yesterday and or last stream, and the set. What I complained about 2 to 3 weeks ago, how the format was becoming very number oriented and kind of value centric. Uh, just like the devs talked about in their most recent video, I think they've kind of solved that with this set, which is great. Now, did they do that by increasing the polarization? Maybe. We'll see. But at least it's not going to be a fatigue fest because the Flesh and Blood is going to have the first time that this has ever happened. And that is, historically, we've had like fatigue strategies, and then we've had decks that beat fatigue strategies. Or we've had decks that hold back fatigue strategies, right? Uh, and that would be like illusionist, right? Or something along those lines. But we've never had a deck. This might be a little bit of a hot take. We've never had a deck that was both in the same 60 cards, which sounds wild, right? How can you be the fatigue deck and then the deck that also is supposed to hold back the fatigue deck? Well, that's what I think Enigma is going to be. I think it'll be the deck that says you're not going to dirtle around, and it's also going to be the deck that kind of fatigues people. That's going to be one of its many game plans into a lot of decks. Um, Am I saying it's a straight fatigue deck? Absolutely not. I'm just saying that that will be one of its win cons against a few decks, uh, which is perfectly fine, right? But we've never seen both of those built into one single deck, which is kind of fascinating if you really think about it. So got really high hopes. New looks phenomenal. I've probably put more reps into new than out of all the new heroes. I've just really enjoyed the play style. I've enjoyed people telling me how favored they are in the matchup and then showing them that they're not. I've had a blast doing that, and yeah, I've really enjoyed the hero new specifically. For some reason, it just feels like I don't know how to explain it. I just feel like I have a choice every single turn on what I want to push or not push, or I don't know. It's not exactly Briar vibes, but like I enjoy playing it. I don't know what else to say. So things are looking good for MST and Fab in general. I think that it is a home run set. I truly believe that. Now, draft will get into that as we invest more time into it. So I have a couple draft camps that I need to do, and then some online practice as well to get a better understanding. Give me 1 second. I'm dropping frames. Give me 2 seconds. See, literally like 2 seconds. Okay, we should be back. We should be able to stabilize. I do apologize for that. James White, we trust. Isn't that a fact? Let me write down this real quick. This keeps going. We'll have to swap. Sorry, chat. Give me 1 minute. I'm just going to swap something over real quick, and then we should be. Okay, we should be good. Sorry about that. Like I said, I don't know what's been happening lately. I do apologize. Okay, let's go ahead and hop into some games. New does seem to have a lot of granular. Oh man, you're killing me with that word. And how far she can put. Yeah, I do agree, especially with Hiss, Venomous and Hiss. To be honest, I think that the equipment is what makes Ven so exciting to play. Like the fact that you could apply the gloves to like a CNC or a Leave No Witness, and you have those, kind of situations. That's like one of my favorite parts personally about new is the equipment, and the fact that it kind of just can be played on anything is absolutely phenomenal. All right, so let's just hop into some gameplay. Let's not waste any time. This is the list that we're going to be playing. As always, if you're interested in the list, it will be in the live stream decks in it'll be a It'll be in the Discord, the Card Guys Discord, in live stream decks is where the list will be. I will post it after the stream. After the stream. Yeah, Snag is Snag is pretty good. Snag, we actually have it in our Zen list for new. Very good. What's up, DM Armada? Good to see you. Love new. Only worry is the metagame impact that Bonds has. Ripping 3 cards is fine. Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, I mean, like, it is a great card, but at the same time, like, you should be able to have those powerful cards that really swing the game and kind of stuff like that. You know, it's just a card that you have to respect, right? If you don't have D-reacts, then you get punished if you don't lay down 3 cards, and then they could just slither around it, and it's just, you know, it's one of those difficult cards to play around, and that's okay. But Snag is a hell of a card that can really combat it. So this is a list that just a general overview of the list. We have what people would expect in any Zen related deck. We just have like 100 wins pack. The blue ones because they are easy cards to transcend off of because there's 0 cost to go again. The red ones just as extend chain links and whatnot. It's also an always applicable target for the Zen hero ability. You don't need any pieces or anything like that to go grab 100 wins. We have Tooth and Claw as a little bit of high roll potential, along with, of course, our combo package, if you will. Head leads the tail, Art of War, and then Roar of the Tiger, right? Then we have a couple mauls built in. We have some pouncing, just adds some 0 for 3s with that also block 3 is what we're really looking for. We have a high density of transcend cards. This is the main thing that I am wanting to figure out is if this is too many. My initial reaction is I think we're a little high on them, but we're going to find out. As far as our other blues, Ancestral Harmony, we are just trying to find blues that cost 0 unless they do something very powerful, that are easy to play and then begin our transcend. That is the number 1 goal of our blues. And the only 2 that don't fit that bill are going to be Levels of Enlightenment and Shifting Winds, which obviously they're just good enough to kind of play them anyway, because we are running a little bit higher of a blue count at 26, which is kind of unheard of in a quote-unquote ninja deck, right? Typically Katsu floated around 18 to 20 at most. Some went down as low as 15 in a Katsu deck, although that's kind of like Phi territory. So, you know, we want the blues that support heavy blue hands like Level of Enlightenment. Very powerful, right? Then we have our sideboard package. We have Mask for any matchup where we can't actually block with Traverse and actually leverage that value. And then we have our Null Rune, of course, for He Who Not Be Named. And then we have Warmonger's Diplomacy for Azalea, obviously, and even a little Runeblade. Side Hate. Snag, strictly for new. That is the card that I've been found most, I had a little bit of trouble into new when I first started playing this deck. And that's been the card that just helped me the most. It helped me more than D-Reacts. It helped more than anything else. And then we have the better version of, Last Ditch Effort. We have the new and improved Last Ditch Effort, Cosmic Awakening. It's just simply our anti-fatigue tool. If we're playing a match where we know we're going to go the distance, we're going to throw some of those in and try and win. Add that as a low opportunity cost win con, and we have a couple D-Reacts. Nothing crazy in the sideboard. We're not cooking anything super spicy, but this is what we're working with. Goal is we're going to play it kind of mid-rangey, slightly aggressive. And if we get an Art of War or a Roar of the Tiger or something like that, we're going to put an Arsenal and then play a little bit more defensively, wait for that really strong turn, have a big burst turn, and try to close it out with aggression. That is our main kind of win con. So let me let me go ahead and see what we have. Have you considered Blue Descendant plus Red Bonds package? I have. I have considered that. That is correct. Is it when you mix in Leave No Witness, CNC, or Headpiece? Yeah, it's just all the cards. It's really cool. I feel like a drop in the ocean can't be right. It is the weakest Transcend card by far on your turn. So it is for sure the weakest. I tell you what, let's go ahead and let's just chop it. Because I do see what you're saying, right? You have to play it so we'll just go ahead and chop it, and then we'll throw in a third flick flack, and then we'll say put in a blue, right? We'll just say that one of them's a Warmongers. To save on a sideboard slot, we can put in another flick. Let's see. I forgot. So we'll do that. Yeah, you're right. Drop in the Ocean was the worst one, 100%. Because once again, we have to play another blue on their turn, which is highly unlikely. Like Drop in the Ocean only works if you double transcend, but double transcending on your opponent's turn kind of sucks because you gain the 2 resources from the chess piece and you can't utilize them. You play it on your own turn after damage. You don't mind getting yeah, but after. I do agree with Michael in the fact that after your first attack, like you want to transcend first. That always wants to be the first thing you do. And it is just very situational. So we'll try this. And as we play the games, we'll be like, oh man, I wish this Warmongers was a drop in the ocean. We'll see. But yeah, I see the argument both ways, but I do agree it is by far the weakest one. It is by far. And my initial thoughts were that we were a little heavy on the no blocks / transcend cards. So I can get on board with that notion. I do not hate it. How have you liked Traverse compared to Links in testing? I love Traverse. It's way better than Links. I'll put it that way. I will put it that way. It is just so good. It is so good. Okay, so we have Enigma, and believe it or not, Fatigue is actually kind of scary. I know that sounds crazy, but Fatigue is a real thing. So we are going to put in at least 1 Awakening. 2 might be pushing it because I do want to be able to keep on the aggression and have our kind of, high-powered turns, if you will. But I'm just swapping that 1 blue to have a little bit more threat density to close the game out if need be. Because 20 on a turn is kind of good, I heard. So we'll go ahead and push it and see what happens. Okay, so we have the good old hand that does nothing. So one thing that we have here is the deck is kind of feast or famine, if we're being honest. It is really feast or famine, to be honest. Either you have a lot that you can do or not a lot you can do, and we're about to. See, here we can't even. Okay. So you are actually my best friend on the planet for attacking me. The link for the list will be in the TheCardGuyz Discord after the stream. Okay, we got 5. We're gonna block here because we don't have a choice, Chad. uh. Let me write that down. Okay. Preserve tradition. Nice card. Honestly, really good turn for us personally, because if all they made was a spectral shield and they went first, that's kind of like the best case scenario for us. There's actually an interesting decision here on whether I play this just to get it out of my hand. Obviously, I will not transcend, but this is a risky combination to have in my hand. I'm not going to do it, but just know that it's very risky, depending on what I draw. What it's going to do is it's very likely to force us into playing the Art of War preemptively, if we don't draw an appropriate hand. Which this hand can high roll. I just don't know if we actually want to. We could jam the Art of War. That would leave us with 2 floating. We could play out our hand at worst, and then have 2 cards that could situationally fit. The problem with making that play is this is 2 of our quote unquote combo pieces, and we are risking both of them on a not very. But I mean, the only other option we really have is to swing 2 and then 4, and that ain't cutting it. So I think, unfortunately, like I predicted, we're forcing ourselves into this play. I don't like it, but I think we kind of forced ourselves because we decided to keep the Transcend card. Which, if the top card is not blue, it actually worked in our favor because this would have been just so bad if we don't have a guaranteed way to make a Crouching Tiger, so I'm going to pick the Breed Anger over the Head Leads Tail. Yep, this didn't get much better. So what we're going to do is... Yowza, this is awful. We're going to play Headley's Tail. And name 100 wins. Oh, man. Art of War puts another card that pumps your Tiger's waiting room. Yep. Yep, this hand was not it. So this gets +2 here off of the... So we turned what? A shitty hand into a 3-card... What, a 3-card 9, which is on rate, but we burned 2 of our combo pieces doing it. So not the transaction we want to make, but the transaction we had to make. They don't have Tunic counter up, and so this is actually a good exchange. If they can't use the 2 resources, we're actually perfectly okay. There is an argument to go ahead and send this for 4 to go ahead and get the Spectral Shield. which I'm kind of tempted to take here, if we're being honest. Mm, they are running more than 60 cards, and we've seen all type of defensive cards. I'm actually going to just no, they can footsteps. That still clears that. I'm gonna swing weapon. Keep the threat density in the deck. They can still block footsteps, but we still eat the spectral shield unless they want to go ahead and use armor, which we're fine with doing that. Um, I know playing that guarantees it, but if this is a D-react, the result's the same. If this is D-react, he has to play it here if he doesn't want to lose his shield. So I know it's less efficient, but it keeps threat density, and this is perfectly fine with me because, you know, they're not going to get crazy value from that chi. So result, I'm perfectly okay with. Little unorthodox, but you know. Yeah, I did send the weapon. Yep. Your experience is Enigma typically playing the game of technically. Not so much. Sometimes it can be, but it just depends. Yep, whole bunch. So now we have to push. Um, well played. Very well played. We're just gonna try to send weird numbers. The problem here with this specific situation is tunic counter is gonna be on 3. So really, the back-to-back bad hands, if we're being honest, is actually really bad here because tunic counter on 3, they get to send the 9 again, which is like really good for them. Well, that's gone, so that's a plus. This is a very dangerous card to Arsenal. Chase the tail. It's super situational, but we haven't seen any of our Tiger generation cards, so I'm not too concerned with Arsenal yet. That hand either doesn't block or it's super good. Because they had the ability to just dump their hand and then swing 9 with the tunic counter, which is kind of good last time I checked. So we draw the 3 blue hand, and of course now we don't have the Transcend card. So draws this game are not doing it. Um, let's see. Ancestral Harmony is too much of a gamble on this type of hand, so we just have to double block. I don't know why it registered that many, but sure. They have Spectral on board, so we're going to just try and push as much as we can. Once again, super lackluster hand. Not really showing what the deck can do at all. We had to burn the 2 pieces. We got to keep one in the deck, but all right. Sink below. That's fine. We already cleared the aura. We're just going to go ahead and send this because I would rather have a different arsenal. Okay, we're going to try to play the hand and then just arsenal the Roar of the Tiger is our goal. Oh. Huh. This is interesting. Greater Spectral Shield token. Put 3 counters on it. It has go again. So they're just using that card as a 2 for 9 or a 2 for 8 because of Reality Fractor. They can never protect it. They have the ability to swing with Tunic counter. I like their list. I do. Sorry, chat. We're lagging for a sec. Hopefully that fixed it. Sorry about that, chat. As far as how many tiger pieces do you run? I mean, I run a fair amount. A fair amount. I'll have to look at the count exactly, but a fair amount. Okay, so they're gonna get the transcend. If P was if Chi was pitched this way, which it wasn't because you have to pitch to play it. But they do get the transcend, which means they get to make another spectral shield token, which means they get to make it and then swing with tunic counter. Okay. The good part of this is that the Crouching Tiger will still come in for 1, even with the -1 because of Shuko. So that will still warrant either give me the shield or give me a card. I thought Shuko would trigger on that, but I shouldn't it? Oh, it's second attack action. Sorry. I thought it'd keep the weapon. How many Tiger P? Yeah. What is your opinion on Enigma starting at 40? I mean, it is. It's too early to make like that type of judgment call, right? Because it's strong. Don't get me wrong. But is it broken? I don't know. I'm getting my ass kicked right now because I haven't developed a hand that does anything other than below rate ninja stuff. Um, Basically, the only out for this game, we haven't even been able to transcend in its turn 5 because every transcend card we've drawn, it's been the only blue in our hand. But basically, next turn we have to draw like the nuts combo or we lose. Is the way because he's gonna tunic counter and send the thing for like what 8 or something like that, and then we're just slowly falling behind. So not good, not good. We do have transcending capabilities next turn. It like Roar the Tiger with Tiger Swipe is not going to be enough. But we might just be in that situation where it has to be. The Chi was pitched this way. There's no way that we can play the Chi and do all these things because we have not. We'll go and give that. Put one into our hand. We have to make a move and clear this board, or else we really lose. Now the question is, how do we want to handle this? We can either go the go again route, or we can make more tigers. I think we have to go with the high roll potential on this card specifically. I think they're going to be able to block it just fine, but maybe we get lucky depending on what they have in their hand. So we can't make more tigers because we can't actually pitch chi because we have to pitch to do all of the stuff. So that leaves us with one option, and we have to go levels of enlightenment. This is the tricky part about the one cost blues, is you can't cleanly transcend off of them. I think these two are good enough to run. It's just unfortunate drawing both of them at the same time. And then we just go here, and we can see what we get. It's another transcend. I don't think the transcend helps us any. It gives us a resource and another chi. We already have the chi to go and do, and we have the extra resource to go get, um, to do whatever we need for it. So I'm just gonna put back that I do want to gain the resource because that's gonna allow us to swing weapon and go get a one cost with the ability. One day we'll make an illusionist that's not polarizing, but that day isn't today. It tells me 40 HP. Yeah, I mean, it just does what illusionist does, right? Just illusionist plays on like a whole different axis, right? And some decks have the tools to have, you know, combat that. Like if you can't use your whole hand offensively, you're gonna struggle into Enigma. It's that simple. You will have trouble. Period. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and roar here. Need to do it before we swing weapon. Okay, and we can get any one cost combo, which any time that you have two access to two crouching tigers at any one time, you always go get chase the tail. Just the most efficient. If we only had one, then we would go get what is it, breed anger. This one right here, which would make another one to turn on the tiger swipe. So that's kind of the angle that we take. So we're gonna go ahead and play one. We want to hide as much information as possible. We know that we're getting, or he knows we have the chi and we're activating Zen, but we don't want to tell him quite yet what we're ready to go get. We'll go ahead and activate it now. We'll go get Chase the Tail, which will make our curve perfect. We have one Crouching Tiger before and one after, which fulfills all the requirements. And then we'll send it. Oh, you're right. I should have activated both modes. You're 100% right. Yep. Sorry, I missed that, chat. Hopefully that top card is not super important. But yeah, you're 100% right. That's the whole reason I'm playing Levels of Enlightenment. I can't believe I missed that. This is really good for us. I'm not gonna lie. This is really good. Then we send this one. Block it. Block it. Damn it. Yep, you're 100% right, Michael. I threw if that top card is like super impactful, if it's like an Art of War or Roar of the Tiger or something like that, it it costs me so much. Costs me an unbelievable. I mean, the lowest value is it costs me an Arsenal, which is obviously not good. Are we good? Oh, it was me. If that's a 0 for 4 D react, I'm gonna cry. I don't mind it being a 3 block and us getting Tunic here. Like, that's a fine transaction. And if it hits, that's even better. We get what, 3 Tigers, which would be 3 more damage. So it'd be a 0 for 7, basically. Yeah, so we'll get Tunic, or you let it hit. Yep. We'll take that too. Or he pops the ward. That's the best thing to do. But it means he missed out on the +1 counter, which we are also perfectly fine with. So overall, good turn, or at least like doing something. Not a good hand. Not a good hand at all. We can at least transcend. The problem is we can't. So what can we do? We can double transcend to 2 resources, and then we have the ability to get 2, and that gives us 2. We can only activate this once, which gives us 1 crouching tiger, which doesn't. That means the best card that we can go grab that has combo on it would be Breed Anger, but we don't actually get value from the Crouching Tiger anyway. Interesting. Or we don't get a huge benefit from the mall is basically what I'm getting at. Because we can make more Crouching Tigers, but they don't actively do anything is the problem. Because there's no buffs on them. So what we're gonna do is, I guess we're gonna go ahead and double transcend. I don't see any reason not to. We'll put the roar back in, and then we'll shuffle my deck, which will put the. It'll put the roar and the. Oh, why not? I guess it didn't let me pick, but sure. Then we can. Just thinking of what we need to grab here. What are my options here? So we have 1 Crouching Tiger, which will turn on Tiger Swipe. Not that exciting. We don't have a red to turn on Body. We can turn on that, but we have resources. It's not like, I mean, Mauling Key is probably the best because we just play the Crouching Tiger, right? We have the resource curve for it. So we'll take that one. So what we can do is go. Mm-hmm. No, we're not doing the we're not running the 2 for 7. Yeah, you're talking about the one, yeah, in Unleashed is what you're referring to. We do not have any of those in the deck. Just because other than the turn where they did absolutely nothing, it has a very like rough curve to it. Those cards don't block. Oh wait, I needed to play Maul there. Sorry. My fault, my fault. Wasn't paying attention. Yep, let him resolve. We need to turn on our Shuko. That's what we need to do. That's kind of good. I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of good. We have no reason. We might as well just arsenal the 100 wins for an easy transcend if we draw one. Although we're probably not gonna need it. This is good to push a little bit extra. Double transcend hand to be able to play that D-react. What the hell? What is that? I like their list though. I thought he had another one. I was gonna get scared for a second. So now we need to be looking. Now that we have Chi in the deck, we need to be looking, and they have somewhat an amount of tempo. We need to start looking for a good window to use our traverse to get a little bit more aggression going. What is this? We can send this for 10. That's so bad. Oh no. Okay, so we can get the Crouching Tiger, which will turn on Breed Anger, which will get another Crouching Tiger, which means we can... We're not transcending, though, so we actually need the resources. Problem. So we're going to block with one and traverse. Get the Chi. And then we'll be able to get a Crouching Tiger off of the Zen ability. We'll have a blue for weapon. And then the 1 cost. And then we can Tiger Swipe at the end. It's not going to have any effect, of course, but it's just going to act as a 0 for 4 is what we're going to use it as. I think that's the play. I think we pitch, activate. Yep. I think it's Tiger Swipe. Or we could do Pouncing Key as well. I think that's probably because they're both just 0 for 4s, and we don't care about the on hit because we don't have any pumps going. So we're going to do that. We have the Crouching Tiger. And so what we can do is just play the Wind Chakra. Not the most exciting thing. It was either attack for 1 more or block for 1 more because they only sent 6. and we blocked with the card and traverse. So we just went with the more offensive one versus the defensive one because we just needed the chi to actually make a play here off of a dead hand. We turned a dead hand into something that's like actually viable, which was the game plan. So we will go ahead and send the weapon for 2. And then the crouching tiger comes in for what? 2 as well, which is a nice, like, they can't footsteps it kind of situation. So we're just trying to put pressure on, get the shield off the board, deal a little bit of damage, leak a little bit. Get their hand is what we're trying to do. We had a very rough few hands, to say the least. Okay, then we send the. Do we want to play the 100 wins? I guess it depends. We can always play it at the end after the pouncing, depending on what they want to do. So we go crouching into breed anger, which makes the next crouching tiger, and then we could send breed anger, which will make another one, which will turn on Shuko, and then we play the pouncing at the end, roll over our action point. If they play an aura, we rip the 100 wins to either. Well, of course, we're just going to get tunic, but I mean, we'll take tunic for a blue. Don't want a backseat, but this list has terribly low floor. In my opinion, shifting hundreds line is a trap, and it's way too often bad. And when it's good, it's not good enough to warrant all the other times. I mean, I understand what shifting is kind of iffy, and it might not be a 3 of. I can get on board with that. But 100 wins, like that is the consistency piece. What would you plug in the 0 for 3 slot? Um, I guess the only thing that you could grab is the 0 for 3 that if it hits makes a crouching tiger, which yes, I understand the thought process there. But the reason for 100 wins is mainly it can go reach and grab the you can go reach and grab it with the hero ability because it has a keyword combo on it. Also has interaction with flick flack and among other things. But yes, I do agree that there's the head jab that creates the crouching tiger on hit. But what you'll find out as you play Zen is you don't want, like, let's say you plan your turn out, right? And you have a pouncing key in your hand that gets the +1 or whatever if the thing hits. Do you really want to predict whether your opponent blocks your crouching tiger generation or not? And it doesn't even have a breakpoint, so it's like not hard by any means. Do you want your opponent to gain that much agency over your turn? Is the question. Um, so I understand the thought process, and it's not that I wholeheartedly disagree with it. I just I do agree with the blue, the shifting wins. I think it's a powerful card. It's a high roll card. But there's not too many like 0 calls to go against that really um that block 3, if you will. That's the main reason it's in there is it blocks 3. Pitching card here I'm fine with. You're going to lose that shield. I promise. Or you're going to give me tunic, which makes the shield invalid next turn because you can't swing it. But backseating, I don't think giving, feedback on the list is backseating by any means. Yep, there's your war that's going to get destroyed. Both of them actually, right? Because it's a 4, which means we wipe the board, which means there's a spectral. And because he has the tunic coming up on 3, he'll be able to swing it for 5. We're going to send the 100 wins to either get the spectral shield or the tunic. We're not going to give him that agency. So look, that 100 wins had a value of 6 on it. Look at that. Good card. Good card. This hand we can make work. What do we want to do with it is the question. We can go get a tiger, which will turn on pouncing key, which will turn on body. Then we can arsenal the tiger and pitch the 100 wins for weapon. That's kind of what I am thinking. Or we can just go full wide. We can go get the tiger. Let's go ahead and look and see what we have left. Because we get a tiger, and then we get a tiger off of this. So we can play something that closes on a tiger, but is not open to a tiger. We can't get the chase the tail or anything crazy like that. But what we can get is like a tiger stripe. Is kind of exactly what I was thinking. So we'll do that. And what we can do is go bam. Into crouching tiger, into pouncing, into aspect, make a tiger, tiger, which will get Shuko, tiger strike. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, growl is the on hit make a. Okay, there's 0 chance I'm running blue sift in a ninja deck. I'm not going to IP myself to look for cards that may not work in a combo deck or an aggressive slanting combo deck. Absolutely 0 chance that I'm doing that. I ran Sift and Briar because it blocked 4. And if I did a Rune Blade Brick, I could fix it if I had full tempo. The way that you brick with this deck is by having fewer cards, which is exactly what Sift's going to do to you. So overall, we were on a 4-card hand, and we went 2 into 1. That's 3 into 4. That's 7. 3 is 10. 1 is 11, and 4 card 15. That's pretty good. We take it. You're going to make the spectral shield on it. That's fine. It's probably not going to be there anyway. Right. Giving the next tiger +1 doesn't solve any of my problems. What you have seen is I've drawn all my combo cards that give tigers +1, and then all my cards that create tigers in separate hands. You haven't seen me draw any of them together, except for that one turn that I did okay damage on. So I would consider that this is a very low roll as far as draws are concerned. I don't know if you've seen the whole game. Justin, what's up? Am I winning? I don't know. It was looking very shaky at the beginning, but we've managed to get some lines that have kind of improved my chances, if you will. Good part about here is it's not actually that innocent. If this does hit, we get to arsenal a crouching tiger. Of course, it gets blocked, but it's cool when you do get that ability and you have that option. Okay. Um this is an interesting. We can't double transcend here because one requires an attack. So we have to lead with head leads the tail first to be able to do that, which basically means we're not going to transcend. We have to pitch the roar of a tiger to then play the head leads the tail to then double transcend, get a chi and a resource, which means we'd have two resources floating in the chi, and then we can weapon swing into a crouching tiger into another tiger swipe or something like that. The problem is then we have just a floating chi in our hand that is doing absolutely nothing. So this is a weird one. I guess we want to go ahead and flip all of our chi cards though because we do have the one copy of Cosmic that I have not. Oh, I did block with it. I thought I didn't. Rip. So that makes it a little dicier. Do gain the life, which is cool. We can't roar the tiger into. I guess that is an option. We could roar the tiger into play the tiger, double transcend. I think that's actually the line because they're a 10, right? We're just trying to pressure. Still have two Artivores. We can go here. Double transcend. We get the extra stuff. Oh, wait. I was supposed to transcend there because I need a target. I guess I can technically target it if it's before on the chain. That is a thing. And we gain a life. So double transcend here, which gives us two resources. Okay. That gives us the ability to go ahead and Zen. And we can come up with our line. Okay, so we have head leads the tail, which we can call crouching tiger, obviously, and keep pumping. So anything that makes a crouching tiger is a good pick. Which would be breed anger. It would be aspect. Do we have enough pitch to pay for all of that? We do. So I think we just go ahead and take. We could also get chase the tail. We could play it after this and then after. The problem with that line is we do waste the +1 on the weapon. So for that reason, I'm actually going to take breed anger. Yeah, I ended up opening with Roar. I just couldn't afford to take an off turn and let them build up ward and me make it harder to get to their life total. I just could not afford to do that. So we're just gonna keep pushing with them at 9. Um and go from there. So we do have a crouching tiger as the last thing on our chain. So what we want to do is I actually want to just go ahead and do head leads with tail, and then we'll do weapon, crouching, breeding, weapon. There is warrant to like arsenal this, but we're getting 2 value on it, which I think is enough to say do it. If we were getting any less, I would say it's a no-go. Okay, so we have that on. Here we go crouching, breed, crouching. Which means the last crouching will get the 3 bonuses. It'll get Roar, Head Leads with Tail, and Shuko. What happened to the Zen should transcend with Blue D reacts from solving misspell? So I haven't talked about it yet, but basically it revolves around the chess piece. I found that as I was playing the deck a little bit more, playing your lines offensively, because there's a lot of cards that cost 1 to fit your weapon into the cost curve. You really need the resources from 12 petal. And which means you need to be doing your transcend on the offensive turn. It was a nice idea, and I think if you run like a tunic centric deck, which I don't think there's a lot of a reason to, you really want to be transcending offensively, just because you want to utilize the resource that you have gained. Great question though. I could have arsenaled the transcend card. The problem is I did not want to let up. I think getting cards out of Enigma's hand right now is the number 1 priority. So we got 4 into 4 into 1, 2, 3 into 3. So 4, 4, 3. So another 11 damage when he's at 4, which means he can tunic counter into footsteps if he doesn't need that, which means I think every time we take 2 cards out of his hand, at a minimum, and some equipment, could be up to 3 cards. Why not playing with Kodachis? Because I don't think Zen should be using Kodachis. If we're being honest. Okay. How many blues are you going to pitch this turn? I think this deck might be a little too defensive. I love the concept of the spectral manifestations. I was really liking those lines where you just let the board wipe, manifestation, swing. Like, I love that. Uh, really great idea. Gain some life, very well timed. Which means he would take 1, but he would make a shield, which he can then tunic counter. The downside to that is we still have one more attack for 2, um, which is definitely going to affect things for sure. So we basically either get the shield, which we're perfectly fine with, or uh, he has to give us the card in hand. Still has the line of tunic counter into shield on their turn for 5, which is great. Okay, so we're gonna eat both of those. That's fine with me as well. But they layer the order and they get back the spectral shield, and then they can tunic counter swing 5 on their turn, which is a good line for them. I'm just at 15 to where I don't have to respect it if I don't want to. We will see. So in the late game, this is a fantastic Arsenal target. I mean, bonkers Arsenal target, for being honest. Um, because you just second cycle. This is kind of one of your best anti-fatigue tools because when you start drawing your chi cards, you could just pitch them and start playing the shifting winds and then just go in. And it actually just gets out of hand really quickly. So we're going to take the risky line of playing the Art of War here. I'm not a huge fan of it, but like I said, we have to keep the gas on. They're at 3. We're just going to get the hand and close this out. So we're going to pick our only target that we have in our hand and hope we draw attacks. As simple as that. Worst case scenario, we draw a chi card. We can play the we can swing and then pitch the chi to play shifting, and we get 2 crouching tiger. That's like the worst case scenario. But hopefully we can grab something. Okay. I think we can work with that. I think we work with that. Okay. So we're definitely gonna play our Sacred Heart, right? Um the question, what's the best way to do this? Um Let me go ahead and say thinking. So we haven't played a blue yet. So this is not turned on. We need to turn it on, which means we have to play either this or this. This has no value, so it has to be 100 wins for 1. And then we have to play this, which means we transcend, we gain a resource, and then now Crouching Tigers get +2, which is kind of good. So we have to take that line. We don't even get a choice, which I'm perfectly fine with. We're just gonna 100 wins. Then we're gonna transcend, get our resource, and go from there. Tech reminds me of playing Monopoly with my grandmother. But those were the best times, Vero. Are you saying you didn't like playing Monopoly with your grandmother? It's kind of fucked up. Okay. Um, do we have a Chase the Tail left in the deck is the question. We do, and we have the ability to play it. So we do want to gain the resource up to 3, which gives us the opportunity to play our weapon or activate our weapon, and then we'll have 1 left over for whatever we go get with Zen, which we'll go ahead and activate. Okay, we see what our options are. Okay, we don't have access to that, which is okay. This has absolutely no text on it, so therefore we have to go with the Tiger Stripe, which presents them a little bit of a problem because this is going to get really hairy really quick because these are coming in for what 3 3 2. So we have 2 3 2 2 5. And you can't let the 5 cannot connect. So you basically have to say, okay, I think that's game unless there's a D-React in Arsenal because this is going to absorb this. Then we have the 3 due to the bump from. So you can keep 1 spectral. Okay. That's a really good card in this spot. I'm not going to lie. He's back in it. He's back in it. Still have to block that 4 at the end though. But now it'll be 3. This eats a shield. The next one eats a shield. Yeah, so that has to be a D-React to stop it. Or that's GG. Because then we just make, what, 3 or 4 more Crouching Tigers if the stripe hits. So that could be that's all you got, and you're fine. Nope. So we had a bunch of bricks, and we still maintained an average value of 13 with the bunch of bricks. We had a couple good hands, but all in all, I would say that was like a below average representation of what the deck could do by far. But I really like their deck. I was really impressed by the spectral manifestation rotation. I really like that line. I don't know why. Well played. Well played. Also, everybody do me a favor. Sometime today or tomorrow, Majin Bay posted a video on, what hero should you play in Flesh and Blood? Kind of like an introductory video. Please go check that out. Leave a like on that video. Make a comment on that video. Just reference your favorite hero, something that a new player would like to read or would answer like a curious question that they would have about a hero. Just show that video some support because those types of videos are the biggest thing that can happen for the game of Flesh and Blood. Simple as that. Those are very impactful videos for the game. And so go over to Majin Bay's YouTube channel and leave a like, make a comment, help the algorithm, pump that video because it's important. It's important. Hour and 3-minute game. Yeah, the first part of that, I will admit, was my fault because of the we're gonna go with the D-Reacts or we're gonna snag on this one. We're gonna remove some of the Transcend cards. We could definitely take out the Warmongers. That's not doing anything. Just having no block cards against new is like really scary. We're being honest. Let's do it like that. Blue for blue. We're still going to stay at 60. I don't think we're worried about being fatigued. I could be wrong. I think if we're in the worry of being fatigued, I think we've already lost. Huh. So this is actually an interesting one because we have a lot of options here. We could just Arsenal, which is completely valid to just Arsenal. Or we could go ahead and prep Chi for the following turn, right? We could play the Ancestral Harmony. Doesn't matter if it hits. We're Gucci, right? And then play the homage, right? This is just like, this is a good hand. Are we just going to Arsenal or not let them filter, I guess? I mean, we wouldn't let them filter the other way either. But wow. Wow. This card in Maw, pretty good. Pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah, you got it. Hopefully they have one of those new hands where it just doesn't do a whole lot. That's one thing I've been finding out with New. I love New. I think that she's fantastic, but just sometimes you get those hands and it just does not, just doesn't do it. So double dagger is looking pretty okay for us so far. As long as we don't see a leave no witness here, I think we're fine. Um, this is a rough one. Pitched a venomous bite, which you would not have done if this was not a reaction, right? If you don't have a reaction, you swing one blade and then play the venomous bite on the prognosis. So I think that that basically means this guarantees that there's a reaction here, which could be like a red venomous bite or whatever the case. So we're looking at a 5 situation. The problem is we need our whole hand to do anything. And I really don't want to jam armor here. But I mean, literally, if we lose one card out of our hand, it it gets ugly quick. Uh, do we take the negative value on this? I know this is a reaction because they pitched the venomous bite. I know for a fact it is. Either that or it's like a CNC or something like that. I don't know. It feels wrong. Okay. Leave no witness. Okay. So what do we do now? Lost our 0 for 4. We need to block this. I think we just give that up, swing weapon, and call it a day. Could have swore that was a line to have a reaction. Peach in the venomous bite. Especially after the misplayed hit, because you can play that reaction on either one of the attacks, whichever one I'll block. So you could have got my arsenal. I don't know. I don't know about that one, Chief. This is a hand of cards. So we have the ability to head leads the tail aspect into tiger into mauling. Which means this is our quote unquote extra card. Pitching a prognosis is scary. Actually, there is a world where if we block with the boots here, we can actually get it all off. What we can do is head leads with tail, body, which makes a tiger. We'll have the other tiger. Then we go chase the tail. Or tiger, chase the tail, tiger, mauling. So we can play the whole hand, but once again, if it gets disrupted, it like sucks. I think we'll just gamble on it. Take the boots here. Play out the whole hand. It'd be a good. I don't like sitting on an arsenal against new. It's kind of scary, kind of quick. Hopefully, there's just no active disruption here. Very unfortunate if there was. Nothing floating. Do I jam armor? It's just such a high value play. The only thing that beats us here is Shred. I guess they could activate the wave, but I'm kind of fine with that one because we're just gonna have to make some like slightly inefficient plays. I'm trying to figure out which one of my pieces of equipment are, because we need that's the problem. We just need everything to work except for our arsenal. If this is a leave no witness, I just let it hit. I'm trying to figure out what's the least valuable. Shuko's going to get a lot of value over time. The resource we may or may not need. I think it's this. We actually keep Shuko, which seems weird. It's really weird. Petal might be more valuable than Shuko, though. We're going to try this, see what happens. Traverse is actually the most valuable. What am I thinking? I should block with these two. Keep Traverse. I should know that. Okay, we got paid off. So we get to play out our whole hand, which is a really good one. We say crouching because we're playing two of those this turn. Strippers in. Let's go. Is Zen cracked? We're trying to find out. Have you tried the bond spam Zen? But I've tried bonds in Zen. Yes, I have. We have. All right, that's going to turn on this. This is actually perfectly fine. We're not swinging our weapon, so that's fine. Then we do that, which gives us our crouching tiger, and then we get to go crouching into chase the tail, into crouching, which gives us the beefy one, and then mauling. It's a pretty good turn. Was it worth all of our armor? Just about. I don't know to answer that question yet, but it is a good turn, which is really just what we needed. Because once again, the reason I had to take that is because literally, you take one card from our hand, it goes from like a 20 value hand to a 10 value hand. If you just take one card. So that's why I got rid of it. I know Shuko accumulates probably anywhere between 4 to 5 value a game. I know it's a very high value piece of equipment, but I think in this spot it might just be worth it. All right, here's 5. You give me both pieces of equipment in that card and then give me full tempo, or you take some extra damage. I'm fine with either one. So the question is, can Naked Zen be new? That's the question. That's the one we're trying to answer today. What is this? Oh my God. Oh no. Not like this. Oh, chat, don't play it. Don't play Zen. Just So we actually have to play this to be able to transcend, and then we have to swing so that we can play Path Well Traveled. The answer is no. If we draw hands like that. Yeah, you're not kidding. Yeah, that is bad. I mean, we get to do our thing here, but like, at what cost? Holy cow! At least Traverse is turned on now. We have a chi in our deck. At least we have that, and it's actually a very good combination to have this card in Arsenal with the Traverse situation, because you could just reach and get your chi, and then go into your Shifting Winds. If you get like an Art of War or Roar of the Tiger or whatever, it can be quite valuable. So we're gonna go ahead and activate get our one attack that we can play. I think we just get Pouncing because we don't have the resource left over. So I think we just get Pouncing. Call it a day. Yeah, I think we just get Pouncing. We go Crouching Tiger for 1 because of the weapon. Oh, I don't care. Sure. You got it. This is why you should love Zen. He draws them Runeblade hands. You're not lying. That is actual factual. But I'm here for it. I'm here for the struggle. I'm pretty sure that Zen has a 5% win rate into new when you're drawing like this. All right, let's go ahead and Arsenal our the card that we really don't want to Arsenal, for being honest. This hand could be worse. This hand could be a lot worse. E-Strike. Well, the hand don't be blocking. I think we just block 3 and triple hundreds. I mean, theoretically, that means we do 9 off of 3 cards, even though one's a blue because they compound. I guess the other option would be to go, let's see, 9, so we can get 12 value from the hand that way, or we can send 3 with go again, 2 floating, send that for 2, so that's 5, and then 3, and then 4. So that's 5, 3. It's 12 either way. So do we want to be 12 offensively or defensively? And given this situation, I think it wants to be offensively. Right? We could also go get another 100 wins. We could traverse and then get 100 wins, but then that card is stuck in Arsenal. Like, it's no good. They have a sigil? I guess we really didn't present a whole lot for him to be scared about, so I guess we just take this. This is 12 no matter what. We get a free ability to kind of play around any like slither reaction or something like that's fine. Take one of them. It doesn't really bother me. Took the blue hundreds. Okay. I mean, that is the best pick for sure. I only get 2 value from the block, and I can no longer play levels of enlightenment, which means I had to turn in this into 2, which means 3, 4. What? 3, 4, and then 2. So that's 9 and 2. So I lost 1 value. My hand was that bad that they took a whole card, any card out of my hand that they wanted to, and I lost 1 value. That's how bad this hand was. I thought about traversing and going and getting another 100 wins. I thought about it. Hunted. Okay. So we've only seen one combo piece, and it's turn 5. I don't want to say combo piece, but like, you know, we haven't seen any Art of Wars, no Roar of the Tigers. We're locked and loaded with the Traverse, with the Chi in the deck, and the Shifting Winds in Arsenal. So when it gets here, and we don't have disruption, that's a key part of it. we don't want the disruption. Then we're gonna cook with something. We're gonna cook. I just got Sacred Arts, Art of War, double head leads the tail, and double swiped. Buzz in on turn 2. Yeah, that's what the deck can do. Or it could, not have the stream buff and draw like this. Well, this is kind of like too much of a good thing. Right? I think we actually have to force the Traverse here, or we don't have a functioning hand. So we're just going to rip it. Sure. Mill. As long as you don't mill my hand, you can take all the cards off the top of the deck you want. Oh, man. I mean, that's kind of good. See what mill, like fucking 6 cards or some shit? That's kind of good. Same color. Snag. I didn't want to snag. That's fine. I didn't want levels. That would have been cool, but yeah. Kind of saved us there. I didn't want either one of those cards. So we take that. Okay. So we just have to rip it. Like we have to do it. So what we have to do, so we have to play the shifting with the Chi, which gives us the 2 Crouching Tigers. And then we have to draw a blue off of the Art of War by banishing a Crouching Tiger, so we can then play the Sacred Art. So we need a blue. We have the blue. Okay. Blue secured. Now we have the ability to transcend. I think we do this every time, which gives us more tigers. Okay, now the tigers have plus, technically, pretty good. So we have to rip this Art of War 2. And I think we have not reached the point to where it's mathematically makes sense to take, like, the 100 wins is still better than the Crouching Tiger, currently. I guess there's an argument for we haven't seen any roars or anything like that, so there could be a world where we risk it by losing 1 value, technically 2 values. So I think I'm going to play it a little bit safe and banish a crouching instead of the 100 wins. I know I'm doing all of this up front, which we're not used to, but I think in Zen, it's very, very important because you want to know what you're working with, right? I think it's very, very important to do all of that. And now I think we just blow him up. So now the line is going to be 100 wins into. Well, first, I guess we lead with this. Oh, we haven't even activated Zen, guys. Holy shit. There's no way. There's no way. Well, let's see what we got, guys. Let's see what we got. Bro, I was looking at it and it wasn't even done. So we got a whole nother tiger. We can get another tiger swipe. So what we can do is we can actually go crouching. We could go 100 wins aspect, crouching tiger, crouching tiger, crouching tiger. I think that's kind of cool, and we're just gonna do it all for the stream. We're gonna do it for the memes. So what we're gonna do is then go 100 for 5. It's just for 5, chat. Like, no big deal. No big deal. One of them will hit, we hope, right? And that just allows us to play even more and just go from there. No blocks. Smart man. Okay, then we turn on the body, which gives us our... We had to do it in this order because we need to play the red before this one. And we can't fit this into... I guess we could play that after a tiger swipe, and it doesn't interrupt as long as we have another crouching to play. I guess it would then be fine. Oh shit, you're right. We could have played 100 at the end and gotten 5. Okay. So we missed out on approximately 5 damage. Maybe even more. You're right. I guess I don't want to go back through all that. That just seems like too much. But yes, you're right. You're right. I should have... I completely forgot about the renaming aspect of it. So this is good. Then we play the crouching tiger out of the banish zone. Okay. Say we could have called it 100 wins, and 100 wins, and 100 wins. Yeah. Now I read chat. Yeah, sorry about that. 100 wins could have hit for 9. Yeah, I screwed that one up, chat. My bad. Sorry, I was going through so many cards I didn't look over. My bad. That was my fault. My fault. Okay, so we need to make sure that we weave this. The most important thing is we have to go one into the other, into the other, into the other, right? But we also want to get as many crouching tigers on the chain as possible before we start weaving, to maximize, how many we get back if it hits. Because you're only going to be able to block these weird numbers. I mean, hopefully they don't have a lot of D-reacts. That would be great for us. Okay, so we can play one more crouching tiger, and then we can play this, and then we can play this, and this, and this, and this. So we play one more crouching to go ahead and get it out. Pierre, we're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about that. That's not the point. The point is that currently Naked Zen is beating New. That's the headline that we're going to go with, Pierre. Not the fact that I completely washed away 10 points of value. I did find a way to turn a hand that literally deals 2 damage by swinging weapon into what is probably going to be upwards of 40. So that's kind of cool. All right, so we need to play the one out of banish, so he knows what's going down. But these are coming in for 6 hot. If he has a transcend card, it actually just gets dumb. If they have a transcend card in their hand, or if they have 2 and this one hits, oh, it's so over, bro. It is so over. And the one thing I do want to focus on, the one thing I really want to focus on, chat, this is the power of Traverse the Universe, because this play was not possible if I didn't have that. And they just concede because we just cycle. They want a rematch. I mean, sure. But if we didn't have Traverse the Universe there, we literally could not have made that work, because we couldn't have used the tigers from the Shifting Winds as Art of War fodder to draw all of those cards. So that card is what made it possible to make that line. If we did not have Traverse, we had Mask of the Pouncing Lynx, none of that happens. It is a completely different situation. This is a really good hand, and I'm just going to pass. I'm going to Arsenal, the one thing that blocks for 2. That's not blue. Okay. You got it. This hand kind of plays itself. I want to play 100 Winds, Transcend, gain the resource to then go crouching into pouncing, into aspect, into crouching, into 1 cost combo that I get off of Zen. Probably sit on the Arsenal card. All right, the same line as last time, pitching double blue react. Triple Tiger Swipe on double Art of War Sacred. Pretty good. You got it. You gonna take a card out of my hand? Oh, you're just gonna play it. Oh, that was a new hand if I ever saw it. Holy shit. 100 Winds. 100. Best part about this is we get a Transcend card in the deck. Super important. Turn on that Traverse so we are ready to go. Okay, we're going to go ahead and activate Zen now because we need the Crouching Tiger to play first to turn on the Pouncing Key, which turns on the body. And we want to get the finisher, this one, because we will have 2 after it's all said and done. And we have the cost curve to support it. So then we play the Crouching Tiger, which will be for 0, which is fine. Turn on Shuko for the second one. Oh, this is the Shuko trigger. I'm sorry. because we played the 100 wins, of course. Then we go pouncing, play body, get our tiger, play tiger for 0, and the mauling for 5 with the on hit. So pretty good. They had a dud turn. You know, it sucks. It seemed for them to pitch 2 reacts and then play homage to no effect basically means they had no attack action. What that means. Yeah, Z, that was an all right one. That was an all right turn. I cannot chase the tail there because I need pouncing turned on, right? Isn't the ordering where I need to play? Am I missing something? The reds have to sandwich. They have to touch each other because of body. So I'm 90% sure I played this one correctly. If I finish with pouncing, that means this card was never turned on, which means I never got my second one. Because doesn't Headley tail doesn't it say the next attack has to be a crouching tiger, or does it just say the next crouching tiger? Because that would be my bad if it does say that. If it does just say the next crouching tiger. Locking with a codex. Love to see it. Play tiger, tail, aspect of tiger, tiger. So the question I'm asking is on tail, does it say the next attack has to be a tiger? Or does it just say the next tiger you play gets +4? That's what I'm getting hung up on. This one, I think we just play Harmony for the high roll. And maybe we hit something. Nope, we just banish a combo piece. That's cool. Okay. I don't think there's any reason to move the... I guess it's a harder cost curve, so what we can do is we can just go ahead and play it out. And then Arsenal the aspect, because it's a lot easier to play than the one cost starter. Okay, then you're 100% correct, Pierre, because I thought it said the next attack had to be a tiger. I thought you had to sandwich the attack with tigers. My fault. 100%. Then what you said was 100% the correct play. That was just my fault. It turns out, chat, that reading the card explains the card. Who knew? Actually, because we're getting the +1 from Harmony, I think we have to just rip this, and then we Arsenal a Crouching Tiger. Believe it or not. Yeah, because we get +1, right? And then we can literally just Arsenal a Tiger. Or we could play it for Shuko effect. I'm not sure which ones. I mean, we are guaranteeing like one value, so maybe just playing it, not having the possibility for Arsenal disruption is well, I guess I need to go ahead and swing with weapon first. And then we'll go there. Kind of split up the damage a little bit. I guess I should just go ahead and trigger Shuko. I don't see. I think it's being a little greedy sitting on a crouching tiger for like, you know, no reason. Can you get the list? It'll be in the TheCardGuyz Discord on after the conclusion of the stream. The list will be in the TheCardGuyz Discord under, I think the channel is called Live Stream Decks. I think is what it's called, and I will post the list in there at the conclusion of the stream. Okay. This looks like a lower level traverse combo turn, basically. It's not going to be a super exciting combo, but like it'll be one that kind of works good enough, if you will. Trying to think. We do give up the quote unquote Zen. We can hang on to the Harmony. So Harmony we don't really need the card. So I was thinking block with Traverse gives me the Chi, which turns this on, which will then I'll be able to get more value from Roar. It's not the most exciting because they already have I'm gonna be honest, chat. That's not an exciting of enough play for me to use Traverse here. I think that's the question is: are we blocking one card or two? Depending on what follows. This has Go again, obviously. So hmm. Just gonna go ahead and block here. See what they have. I could just get blown out by Codex. Already blocked with one. Kind of unlikely, but we'll see. All right, this is fine. Yep, you're gonna banish. That's only one react though. I'm gonna banish this card, which you can use later, but we're not even gonna get to that point in the game to where it matters. Yep, and I'll just Arsenal Roar and be okay. And wait for the turn. Wow. Okay, this is a smaller, but it'll be a combo turn. We will traverse and then pay for this and then do all that fun stuff. With the double roar, I think it's worth it. And then we can also do the whole 100 wins thing, like they were mentioning before, to close with it. Never mind. They're going. Okay. I think we're screwed either way. If I'm being 100% honest. I think no matter what we do, it's gonna hurt. Does this deck have chances in the current meta? I believe so. Um, like it's a good hand. We have the whole traverse gig, but the problem is it no longer, like if you take one piece out of it, it kind of, what piece could they take? All right, they take our blue. They probably take our chi. If they take our chi, it's not the worst. It's not the best. The question is, I think he's going to activate the. I think he's going to activate the headpiece and get the surgical effect, which will take away 2. I don't think I can risk it on this spot specifically. Fuck it. Let's just do this. Play around the arm piece. Get the tiger, get the chi. The only thing that we get blown out by here is if they can pump this, get it through, and activate the mask. That's the only way that we get hard punished here. Pretty sure. As long as they can only do one, it's okay. If they do both, we get hard punished. Yes, okay. We accounted for 1. Oh, yes, okay. Or, yeah, Venomous Bite, yeah. Okay, so you get to pick a card out. That's fine. So now you have a Fang Strike and a Slither in hand. What's the last card? Just don't be a Transcend card. Or a Leave No Witness. So you have Go again. That doesn't necessarily mean anything because they could just be playing the Slither out because they can't utilize the card in their hand and they don't want to carry over a Slither. Isn't Zen a worse Katsu though? I do not believe it is. The difference between Zen and Katsu is Katsu has to hit. Zen does not. Not a single Zen card says if this card hits. There are some on hit effects, but they're only like, oh, this does bonus damage or something. It's not like my whole thing revolves around hitting you. Okay, so took the chi, which was to be expected, right? But that's okay. We just lose out on playing this the normal way, and now we'll just double roar. And swing weapon and swing breed. So this is fine. It could have been a lot better, but completely manageable. So let's go ahead and swing the weapon. Still perfect on the curve. We get to go crouching, 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 breed, crouching, 100. All the tigers come in for 2, except for the first one comes in for 3. So kind of awkward numbers, you know, good stuff. Just trying to get the life totals down to a point to where new can't keep a bunch of cards, which reduces the possibilities on the hands, which allows me to make more accurate decisions. So all we're trying to do against Assassin is create that game state where we're getting cards out of their hand. Maybe not all of them, but at least 2. And then that way they don't have the luxury of just swinging their weapons and stuff like that. But can it match Katsu damage 30 plus damage in 1 turn? I mean, I did it in one of my games. It wasn't on turn 1 because I didn't draw it on turn 1. But yes, I've done 68 with this deck out of nowhere with no setup, no on hit. Like just you can just stumble on it. Sin versus it was actually the Siphon. I was the one that on turn 2 I dumpstered him for like 73. It was pretty good. Pretty good. And once again, the most important part is nothing has to hit. Hero ability doesn't say if you hit, which means you don't have to run a bunch of stupid attack reactions in your deck that reduce your consistency or make you gamble on draws like Ancestral Empowerment. Not saying Ancestral Empowerment's a bad card. You just have to understand what it is, right? You're just saying, oh, I hope this thing gives me what I need and hope that it creates the on hit and stuff like that. Whereas Zen, it's just, I'm going to throw up my cards on the table. Hope you can do something about it, right? Yeah, last game we were theoretically at 100. If I would have done the 100 wins thing and both Tiger Stripes hit, we probably would have been plus 100. But just like Nick, I have a fundamentals issue. You know, that's an inside joke in the Discord. Fundamentals issue. Oh, I know Nick's laughing right now. I bet he's giggling. Not too loud though. Honestly, I'm just throwing the 100 wins here because I don't want to protect it in Arsenal, if I'm being 100% honest. I just do not want to protect it. Like no other reason. I just don't want to protect it. How's the river you drown? You're not in the TheCardGuyz Discord at every evening. What are you doing? What are you doing? This time we're actually gonna do Levels of Enlightenment the correct way. We're gonna play it, pitching our blue, and then we're gonna transcend and then activate Zen, so we get 2 effects on Levels of Enlightenment, and then we're gonna draw a card, and go 3 go again, and play Artivore, banishing the Crouching Tiger probably, and just have hopefully a big enough turn to. This obviously has no text because he only has 1 card in his hand. We're just gonna let that go. I don't think there's a single card that disrupts me here except for what's that majestic blue? Prognosis, I think, is the card. That's the only thing I don't want to see here because it has the chance to rip a card from my hand. But if that is the case, I'll just block with my chess piece. Codex definitely disrupts me here, to say the least. action that you cannot play. Am I missing something? Surgical extraction. Surgical extraction. Yeah, sure. Guess I'll take aspect and then discard the Art of War, which sounds crazy. That was a weird one, chat. I'm not gonna lie. That was a weird one. So we're gonna go here. We're gonna follow through the same plan, but we're just not going to Art of War, obviously, because we don't have it. Got Codex away. Yes. Okay, we have 3 resources so we can swing weapon, and we have a 0 cost in arsenal, and we're drawing a random card. So we can tiger into the we can do chase the tail here, I think. Right? Because we can do the aspect and um and we can actually just we can save this. I don't hate the idea. Because it is going to cost us a weapon swing to play this because we only have 3 floating. I like Zen right now, if I'm being honest. I dig it. So the problem with this head leads the tail is it only provides 2 value in the situation. And us playing it means we can't swing our weapon, which is 2 value. It'll swing for 1 and then it'll be +1 on the crouching. So I think given that we just swing the weapon because it just makes more sense. So that's what we'll do. Thanks to Pierre for giving us the line. Yeah, see, he's learning. He's learning. So we got there. We got there. Reading the card explains the card. I tell you what. It's the exact same line we discussed earlier, Pierre. We got there. We got there. Took us a minute. Took us a minute. But we figured it out. And then the next Crouching Tiger is going to come in for. I think we've already gotten the buff off the weapon, so it should just be 4, which is. Are you sure you want to do that? Okay. I'm not going to fight it. Oh, 3. Sorry. And then we'll just arsenal this card, which hopefully they can't threaten. That would suck. This is a good card to draw here. Okay, so here we have a situation where we can swing weapon, play head leads the tail, then pitch a blue for levels of enlightenment, and try and high roll a relevant card because we're so far ahead, right? I don't care about this on hit. They can draw a card. That's fine. They're probably just gonna buff it with what is it? The 0 for 5 basically is probably just a nick or whatever. So play this, play that. That gets 1 blue in the bin, and then we can also just do the whole snag play. Like that is a relevant choice. I kind of like that choice. So what we can do is just block here and then let them IP. And then here we'll pitch the blue. And then do a. So we're going to let that resolve in case they have another one. We don't play snag, which happens retroactively. That's what it should be anyway. I don't know if Tower Shore doing the right thing or not. But it should play. Yeah, okay. So it applies retroactively. Sets it back down to 1. So we just traded card for a card, which I'm fine doing. And then we can just swing this. Actually, with them at 6, I like doing head leads the tail into levels and then draw a card. That pushes 3 and then 4. But this is just a good arsenal no matter what, whereas I'm kind of risking it here. So we'll do the safe play. And we'll just buff this one. We'll just do 5 on this one. A little 2-card 7, you know. Can you please play with a KO, Azalea, Dory, or Kasai? I don't know how to face these matchups. KO is an interesting one. Azalea is just rough, right? Azalea into any ninja. We have Warmongers in the sideboard just for that matchup. But it's just a rough matchup, right? Like Red in the Ledger is a card with relevant text. But other than that, you know. Against Warriors, you should be favored because your damage comes in the form of spike damage. Should be favored into those Warriors. I love this card. Everything about it. Just the fact that you can get, think about it. You can get a 2-card 7 off of 2 blues. 2 blues, 2-card 7. That's actually wild. If you think about it. Defies everything flesh and blood. Okay, so we have the option to do literally the same play. We can block and then do the whole snag shenanigans. Okay. I think we block here and here. Right? We're just waiting on the hand that closes the game out. That's all we're waiting on. It's just the hand that closes the game out. Not as exciting as the double blue 2-card 7, but it'll get a card out of his hand. Yeah, you run links into Kano because there's no way to extract value from Traverse because you have to block with it. That's literally the only reason Links is in the deck. Zen has been pretty sick. I love how he just gets to shuffle. Yeah, absolutely. I agree, Sam. I agree. Good to see you. Hopefully, Min-Max hasn't been keeping you too busy. You've been able to play a little bit. Traverse is played in all but one matchup, and then Pouncing Links is in the Kano to speed the game up. Like Kevin said. I feel the whole point of Fab is to defy everything Fab as much as you can. Absolutely. Okay. He doesn't have to give us a card here, but very likely he does. I'm really just waiting for that hand that attacks really low to the ground. Him blocking with a CNC is a little concerning, not gonna lie. Go again. I think we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna swap out the arsenal. We're gonna put head leads tail in the arsenal, or we're gonna play it out of arsenal, naming 100 wins, and then we'll put Tiger Swipe in arsenal because it's a little bit easier to fit a cost curve because we're just waiting for something that generates tigers anyway. So let's do that. So we can go ahead and do this because we don't want to give away information. So basically, that's 2 turn cycles where I don't think I've taken any damage except for the E-Strike, and they've been chipping down from, 7 to 3. Once again, we're just looking for the hand to close it out. I'm glad you're playing Zen instead of Doom posting about how Katsu is better. That's because Katsu's not better. That's why I'm doing that. I'm currently in my dark corner trying to find the answer to this meta. Hardest question to answer is what will be the most fun? MST is a deep set, very exciting. I agree, Sam. I think the Enigma thing is the I thought about full sending here, but I don't know. We could. I guess it depends on what he blocks with, how he blocks, what the break point is at the end. Here we're gonna name 100 wins. But yeah, we could play the Tiger Swipe at the end. Just depends on if it gets his last card. I don't see why we don't. Comes in for 4, which means he'll leak. I don't think Zen is better than Katsu. I'm confident in saying that I know he is. Okay, so Tiger Swipe here in this situation means we're facing a Zen with a 1-card hand versus a 2-card hand, and one is much scarier than the other, so we're just going to rip that extra card and have him probably just have a really lackluster turn, which gives us the ability to have another 4-card hand, take a little bit of damage. So once again, I'm noticing a trend here. Pierre was right. Who knew? Do you agree that the staff just makes more sense than Kadachi's? I do. It's a better rate. Okay, this is an interesting one. It basically asks the question of, do we want to risk it for the biscuit on top? we can play levels and do the. I kind of like just blocking this because we don't have much. The only card we get blown out by is the Nick card. What is it? Just a Nick. Which there are a couple of them out there. But this card, like, I'm really relying on this card being a red, or I have to get something with Zen to really make it work. And if he takes any of these blues, the whole combo with the levels of enlightenment doesn't work. So I think I don't want to block here, but I think I have to. And if they play just a Nick, then we have to just wait a turn, which is unfortunate, but it'd be like that. So we do this same play while it's on the stack. We transcend. Then we activate Zen to get a second blue in the pinch zone, which turns on 2 modes. And we look for what applies. We know we're drawing a card. We don't know what we're drawing, so we need to get something that we know is going to be kind of somewhat applicable is really what we're looking for. So let's just get a... Breed Anger doesn't really do anything, though, right? That's kind of the... So we're going to gamble a little bit on the draw. And we're going to get a Chase the Tail because... And the reason for that is if we don't get some type of buff card for the Crouching Tigers, then Breed Anger doesn't do anything. We don't have Shuko, right? Making the extra Crouching Tiger is completely irrelevant. Chase the Tail is a much harder card to play, and we can basically do the same thing with that. So I'm going to, whereas we can actually high roll with Chase the Tail, draw a card that's relevant, and so forth. So I'm going to get Chase the Tail because it's harder to play and basically does the exact same thing. And there's actually an argument for doing buff power as well, but that's nor here nor there. Look at that. Why not 2 of them? We're just going to pitch one to play the other and send a 4 with a break point and go from there. One, give me a card. Do I have any long pumps for Tigers? I have 2 Art of Wars still. Am I missing a roar? All the roars are gone. What about head leads with tail? 1, 2. Okay, so Art of War is the win con for this game to close it out. Basically what we're doing is we're letting our cheese cycle and we're going to play shifting winds with Art of War, and we're going to go 1 1 1 1 1, close it out. That's our plan. Because with these hands, it's going to be very easy to just strip his hand every single time. And then we'll be able to close it out. Get to that chi plus Art of War. I mean, that's pretty good, I'm not going to lie. Good time to have the D-React. Okay, there's one piece. We can give this go again by getting the tiger in our hand. Just gonna let this fly. They do gain a life, maybe. They banish a blue card, which is pretty likely. I don't mind Maul going. Good way to close this game out, but like it's not the end of the world. So here I think we're just going to do the chi thing. And we have a blue, so we can do Chase the Tail, right? because no, we can't because we don't have two crouching tigers. So with them being at 1, maybe this is just better. We can go swing. No, we can actually probably just win on breed anger if we're being honest. Then we can also kill in reactions with Art of War as well. That is another choice that we have. What hero interests you the most going into the next meta? I would say New and Zen. I New specifically is kind of really interested in me. It's a really flexible game style. Can be really defensive if you want. At the same time, you don't have to commit to that strategy. Uh, you know, I to be honest, I just love the mask. I think that card is so fun. You play the shitty blue card, and you just go, "Yoop, trade me a card." Um, I love that card. So if you play a react here, then I probably just win. We get to rip 2. That's not from Arsenal, bro. Okay. I think we had it no matter what. If they didn't block enough, we could Art of War over it. And if not, I think we go wide enough because we get what? 1. We get to swing 1, 1, 4. They only have 3 cards. Yeah, so we get that no matter what. Okay. All right. So we went 4-0 with Zen. And the first 2 games were like, yikes. Really bad draws on the first 2. And then the third one, we high rolled the britches off of this person right here. And then we got him again at 27. So the deck is good. I will admit there is some variance built into it. Clearly, we saw some really good hands. We saw some not so good hands. It's really interesting though because the deck is a lot more defensive. I've never played Ninja with the access to 7 armor. It's actually kind of wild if you think about it, right? But not only that, but 7 armor that actively, I don't know, just actively like produces offensive output, right? Your 12 pedal gives you resources to fit your better curve on your turn that you are transcending, right? Traverse, we saw what that card can do. It literally turned a non-functioning hand into 100 damage in one card. Like it was insane. MVP, okay? And then Shuko, everybody knows the story about Shuko, but those boots, do not underestimate those boots. It can be as something as simple as an easy way to turn on Chase the Tail. It can be something as exciting as being able to extend, like the whole tiger stripe situation that we had. There's a lot of different ways that that card can interact with your hands, right? You can use it to just get Art of War fodder. Like that's kind of cool. There's just a lot of interactions with that, with the equipment on offense, which is really good, right? So it's the first hero that I ever played that had a good fridge, but the fridge produced offensive output. I think KO would probably be the closest comparison. But I really like it. I think the deck's powerful. Is it the best deck in format? I don't know. This deck definitely needs to be tuned. There are some cards I like. There are some cards I do not like. The one thing I will stand by is Predatory Streak, or the one that makes 3 Crouching Tigers in your hand. That card sucks. That much I can promise you. It blocks 2. It forces you to play your hands in a certain way, and it does absolutely nothing if you don't have a Roar of the Tiger, Art of War, or a Head Leads to Tails, right? Not a fan of that card, but the end result could be you're supposed to play it. You know, that's something that you do have to come to the realization of. You have to be open to. There were a couple recommendations in chat, some valid ones. We made one right before we started even playing the deck, right? We we dropped Drop in the Ocean. And it felt fine. I felt like there wasn't too much transcending, not too little. It felt, I think the first game we didn't transcend till like turn 8, but we drew the cards. We just didn't draw the blue cards that played with it. Shifting Winds feels clunky but necessary, if I'm being completely honest. So I do agree is a clunky card, but both in combating fatigue and also just having those really explosive turns, right? Producing the Art of War fodder and stuff like that. I think it is necessary. Sam said, New is one of the most fun decks to play and one of the worst decks to play against. I'm working on a Zuri list to hunt New if I'm not playing her myself. I support that. I'm interested, Sam. Do you think there's a reason to play Azuri? Do you think Azuri is a valid pick? I think Azuri is good. I'm not hating on her, but I just, New does some very powerful things and gets a lot of auto win situations in a lot of matchups where Azuri typically has struggled, like Guardian, right? Obviously, I think Azuri is favored into Guardian if they're good, but it's not a 90-10 like it is for New, right? So, getting those edge points is worth something, right? Why do you say Zen is better than Katsu? And have you considered Blue Tiger from Incantation? Yeah, it's a good card, but it has the same issue, right? It costs 1. So any card to transcend with a card that costs 1, you have to have a 3 blue hand because you want to be pitching a blue card to be maximally efficient to then play your blue card and then play your blue card to transcend. So you have to have a 3 blue hand. It's very unlikely with 26 blues. So that's why if there's a 1 cost blue in my Zen deck, it's got to be good. Levels of Enlightenment, we saw plenty of examples of why that's good. It's broken when you get to transcend with it. You get to do 2 card 7s. Like, it's just a superb blue that blocks 3. It literally just does it's what E-Strike wishes it could be. It is literally better than E-Strike. And yeah, so I think that the card has to be absolutely insane. Happy to see you excited about Fab again and not in Doom or Math deck rant mode. I agree, Pierre. I am having a lot more fun with the game because things are not just vanilla. I never thought I'd say this, but I think Enigma kind of saved the day on that situation and made it where, if you're feeling very comfortable about value oriented warrior decks and things of that nature, I'm not going to tell you don't bring it to Nats, but I am going to suggest you really think about what you're preying on and will it even be there. I really suggest you to challenge that mentality because I'm going to be honest, I don't see it. I don't see it. So, which is what's got me, glad about the situation. I think New is a lot of knowledge check comparable to Dory. I agree. I 100% agree. However, New wants to keep 3 card hands sometimes. Yep, that is true. But at the same time, with the exception of Snap New, the difference is when New gets blown out, aka you have the D react or whatever, it's not the end of the world, right? Because they're not relying on the hit to do something else. They're just getting more value if it hits. Got a whole nother swing kind of situation and whatnot. Snag is the exception. If you are having issues with New, throw 3 snags in, and I promise you, you will feel a difference in that matchup because all it takes is that one good thing where they double venomous bite and you snag it all the way down to 1 and you block like a piece of armor or something. Like it's just insane. If you get one of those off in the game, you're in a really good spot. So if you're struggling with that matchup, highly, highly, highly recommend it. But yeah, that's I think that's what we're looking at. All right. Well, I hope everybody had an amazing time on the stream. Sorry about the lag that we encountered along the way. I think we just got done having a little bit just now. But thank you all for being here. I think we got up to like 150, really cool. And I appreciate everybody's time. We're probably going to do the, I hate to say it, but I think next stream, it's, I think next stream is it's tier list time. Yeah, I'll show the deck list real quick. This is the deck list that we played right here. Just kind of scroll down through that a little bit. And once again, I will post the deck list in the TheCardGuyz Discord channel under live stream decks. It'll be there. I will post it as soon as I conclude the stream, which is in about 5 minutes. And I will have that posted if you're interested in taking a spin. So yeah, there it is. And yeah, I just want to thank everybody again for being here. Really do appreciate it. And I hope everybody had a good time. And like I said, next Wednesday, I think it's tier list time. We got to get it out before. I think we have to get it out before Nats. And also, anybody going to a pre-release, have fun. Good luck on your pools. Hope you get all the shiny stuff. I'm going to at least 2. Also, Friday, show match between CardGuyz and Team Blue Pitch. We're going to be showing off the new heroes. I'll be playing Zen, obviously. And yeah, a lot of good matchups there. Team Blue Pitch, they're obviously great as always. We're doing every time a new set drops, we play the new heroes and kind of play each other in a little show match. So we're doing that Friday evening. We're doing it kind of late, so hopefully you can go to a pre-release if you have one on Friday and catch us after. That's kind of the goal. I'm going to go to 2 myself, one on Saturday, one on Sunday, and have some good time opening some Heart the Misfail. Hope everybody else gets a chance to enjoy the set as well. Until next week.